Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with the Spain news update, the final news update for 2023, as today it is the 31st of December and we're going to start off a new year tomorrow. So we'll get the final news out of the way, and big news for the European Union as they have announced that the Schengen area is going to expand, and that's dominating Spanish press today. As we can see here, the EU approves Schengen entry for Romania and Bulgaria. Romania and Bulgaria will become members of the Schengen area in a few months' time, 12 years after beginning the process of joining the European Free Movement area, and just a few hours before the end of Spain's rotating presidency of the EU Council on Sunday, the member states unanimously agreed on Saturday of the full incorporation of the two countries into this area of more than 400 million people without passport controls, which will now grow from 27 to 29 members. The process, however, will be carried out gradually from March. It will take effect that month at air and sea borders, while land borders will be left for later. So, as I said, big news, a big announcement for the European Union and for that Schengen area, which continues to grow, with Romania and Bulgaria now moving into Schengen. At first, it will only be air and sea borders, but land borders will eventually change too. So what will this mean for existing Schengen area countries? I don't know. Time will tell. But if you have an opinion, please let me know in the comment section below whether you think it's a good idea that this Schengen area continues to grow. The second piece of news we'll look at today relating to the flu epidemic currently affecting Spain. And as we can read here, flu epidemic in Spain. Health centres in many parts of Spain are already reporting overcrowding and chaos due to the high incidence of flu and COVID-19 infections and the lack of staff. The last week of the year has seen 37% more cases of respiratory viruses than last week and is expected to continue to rise. So much so that doctors are already classifying influenza A in Spain as an epidemic. Influenza tests performed in primary care show that positivity has risen from 13% to 20%, surpassing coronavirus infection by 6 points. According to the report, Sentinel Surveillance of Acute Respiratory Infection in Primary Care and in Hospitals, Influenza, COVID-19 and RSV by the Carlos III Health Institute attached to the Ministry of Health, the incidence has risen from 539.4 cases per 100,000 inhabitants to 739.9. So there we go, flu cases on the rise in Spain, COVID also about too, so take care if you are out and about in Spain currently. And I also read the other day that some hospitals and health centres in the north of Spain, Galicia I think it was, but don't quote me on that, are recommending that people wear masks when they enter hospitals and health centres in that autonomous community. The next piece of news, and it's bad news for people that are travelling to Spain by air from the 5th to the 8th of January, because Iberia's ground handling strike has forced 444 flights to be cancelled, affecting 45,641 passengers. The Iberia group, which includes Iberia, Iberia Express and Air Nostrum, has been forced to cancel 444 of the flights scheduled between the 5th and 8th of January due to the strike of its ground handling staff called by the UGT, CCOO and USO unions. This will affect a total of 45,641 passengers. Of the total number of flights cancelled during the days of protest, which coincide with the Epiphany holiday and the return of thousands of people to their places of work or residence, 270 correspond to Iberia, 64 to Iberia Express, and 110 to Air Nostrum. So, as I said, bad news for people that have had their flights cancelled, some 444 flights and 45,641 passengers affected. And of course, as we also saw in that piece of news, it coincides with a lot of people heading back to Spain after their Christmas holidays, because as we know, things in Spain don't get back to normal until after the 6th of January. But what can we do with the power that the unions still have in many sectors in Spain? And the final piece of news today related to the self-employed in Spain, or autónomos as they are known in Spanish, myself included, and the increase in the social security contribution system. And it is that in 2024 the self-employed will pay monthly installments of 225 to 530 euros and will be obliged to file their income tax returns. The rollout of the new contribution system for the self-employed based on their real income will continue to develop in 2024, in which the self-employed will pay monthly contributions to the Social Security ranging from 225 to 530 euros, depending on their net income. This contribution system, agreed with the main self-employed organisations, started at the beginning of 2023 and will have a transition period of 9 years until 2032. It consists of 15 instalments ranging from 230 euros to 500 euros in 2023, and from 225 to 530 euros in 2024. In 2025, contributions will range from 200 to 590 per month. In 2026, the partners will have to agree on the instalments for the following years until 2032. So there we go. If you are self-employed in Spain, you'll be paying anywhere between 225 and 530 euros a month, depending on your earnings. And let's be honest, it's a big chunk of a lot of people's salary every month. So if you're planning a move to Spain to work and you're considering becoming self-employed, you better do the maths. Now let's take a look at some of the comments that have been left on videos in recent times. One here from Lipo: relying on wind and solar power is crazy. They're unreliable and expensive. Shutting down nuclear power plants is a terrible idea. Yeah, Lipo, thanks for the comment. And related to a piece of news that we saw the other day about how the current Spanish government has a plan to shut down Spain's nuclear power plants. I think there's 5 existing power plants, and the idea is to have them all shut by 2035. So Spain is not betting on nuclear power for the future. What energy source is Spain betting on for the future? Well, renewables is the easy answer to that question. And basically, Spain has had a love-hate relationship with nuclear energy since 1983, when the Socialist Party first came into power. They decided back then to back a no nuclear policy, and nothing has been able to change their mind. Even with the energy crisis that we had last year and the year before, they didn't budge. And a lot of people in the comment section after the other day's video did agree with Lipo on this matter, that shutting down nuclear power plants is a terrible idea. Let me know what you think in the comment section if you haven't done so already. One here from Peter: okay, if you had the choice, would you live in Spain or Australia? Have been thinking of moving to Australia from Spain and would appreciate your view. Yeah, Peter, thanks for the comment, and I'll answer the first question that you pose. If I had the choice, would I live in Spain or Australia? Well, if I had the choice and money wasn't an issue, I'd probably spend 6 months here and 6 months in Spain, because I like both countries a lot. But unfortunately, money is an issue, and I can't live 6 months there and 6 months here. I also have a Spanish partner, and she likes to live in Spain, and my son goes to a Spanish school, and all his friends are Spanish. So that also answers the question. But the fact of the matter is that they're both fantastic countries, but the one difference that I see is that the Australian economy is a lot stronger and a lot more resilient than the Spanish one. So if you still need to work, I reckon this would be the better option. However, if you are retired and you're from the UK, for example, maybe Spain. And the reason for that is pure location, because Australia is a long way away from everything. And if you need to get anywhere quickly, for example, get back to the UK, difficult to do it from here. And the other advantage, obviously, if you speak English, is that this is an English-speaking country, obviously. One here from Wickler Walker: about time the Spanish government hiked up taxes on cigarettes and tobacco. The tax intake needs to go towards educating young people on the health effects of nicotine. Yeah, Wickler Walker, thanks for the comment. And another article that we saw the other day, how the Spanish government has said that taxes on tobacco and other similar products, for example vapes, is going to go up. And I agree with you that the money should go towards educating young people on the dangers of smoking. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. And every day in Spain, I see more and more young people at the tobacco shop lining up to buy their smokes. So obviously, whatever reason, they are not being educated correctly on the dangers of tobacco, unlike here, where you rarely see people smoking anymore. So whatever the Australian government has done when it comes to deterring people from smoking, they've done a pretty good job in my opinion. One here from Grant: they send water from the north to the south, but Spain is a peninsula. The middle is higher, so to get the water from the places in the north where there is water, they have to first pump it uphill to reservoirs. Most of them are really low. It hasn't rained that much in the last 10 years, so there is no water to send. Yeah, Grant, thanks for the comment, and adding to the conversation that that we have been having over the last few months about Spain's water problems, drought-affected areas in Spain, for example in Catalonia, the south of Spain also, the Malaga region, drought-affected, and there are some serious water issues. As we know, the north of Spain, green Spain, lots of rain there. The reservoirs in places like Galicia are full, and the easy idea would be to get that water from the north down to the south, but unfortunately it's not that easy, as Grant says in that comment. And also, to move water from one autonomous community in Spain to another is also very difficult politically, because the political parties hate each other and nobody wants to help each other out. Some parts of the country that have an excess of water don't want to share that water with other parts of the country, especially if there is a different political party controlling that particular region, for example Murcia. So it's a complicated matter from an engineering point of view, and it's also a complicated matter from a political point of view. But that's Spain, right? One here from Steve. Hi Stu, nice to see you got back to Perth for Christmas. I have been to Perth a couple of times and really enjoyed it as a city. Well, except the test match I was at when Adam Gilchrist, hit England for 100 runs in just over 2 hours. I loved the sunset, as I have that photo in my house in Murcia, taken from Scarborough Beach. Enjoy! Yes, Steve, thanks for the comment, and I will agree with you that the sunsets here are fantastic. In fact, Scarborough Beach is around 2 kilometres down the road, so not far from where I am now. And Perth nowadays is an enjoyable city with lots of things to see and do, and as I said a couple of minutes ago, a very dynamic economy. And when it comes to that test cricket match that you mentioned here, when Gilly smashed that 100 in a couple of hours, yes, I remember it fondly. One here from Kerry. While looking up the laws on growing your own tobacco in Spain seems to be okay, I discovered that it is also legal to grow marijuana for your own consumption. No limit on numbers, just keep it from public view. I believe you can distill your own whiskey too. They say an Englishman's house is his castle. Well, it is if you live in Spain. Yeah, Kerry, thanks for the comment, and I can't say what you're saying about tobacco is true because I don't have information on that subject. I don't know if you can grow your own tobacco or not, but I do know that it is legal to grow marijuana in your backyard if, as you say, your neighbours can't see it. Not sure how many plants you can have. I think there's a maximum of 2 or 3. Don't quote me on that. And of course, it is only for self-consumption. When it comes to whiskey, again, I've got no idea, but if it is true, you are right. Spain is an absolute paradise if you like to smoke tobacco, drink alcohol, and get high. And the final one here from Fof, Feliz Año Nuevo. Yeah, Fof, thanks for the comment, and Feliz Año Nuevo to you too. In fact, Happy New Year to everyone. 2023 has come to an end. I'll be back in 2024 with more content. Hope you guys stick around and continue to watch the videos. And on that note, I'll wrap this video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have an opinion on anything that I have spoken about today, the comment section is the place for you. You can agree or disagree, no problem. Just do it politely. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you guys in 2024. Feliz Año Nuevo, Happy New Year, hasta luego.